Hey everybody, how are we doing today? Today I have a video looking at a trophy guide and roadmap for Erica, an interactive thriller. This is one of the free games on PlayStation Plus for July 2020. This month we have NBA 2K20, Erica, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. So this is one of my 3-part video series on roadmaps for those games. This is a pretty straightforward platinum. Out of the 3, this is the easiest and most straight line to get platinum in. So let's dive in and take a look at what's required. Oh, I should mention as well that this is going to be completely spoiler free. I'm not going to go into any spoilers in this video, so you can go through and play the game without having to worry about that. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing down below by hitting that subscribe button, and don't forget to smash that thumbs up like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out enormously if you do, so I'd really appreciate everyone going and doing that. Now today we're taking a look at Erica, an interactive thriller. This is a game that Sony launched in 2019, and it's a free game on PlayStation Plus for July 2020. It's a pretty straightforward platinum, and we're going to take a spoiler-free look at it here, so you don't have to worry about any spoilers. So the game is about a 3 out of 10. It's a interactive thriller. It's an FMV game, so it's a full motion video, basically that means. It's like a movie. In this game, it plays very similar to a Quantic Dream game like Beyond Two Souls or Detroit. It plays similarly to those, or like I guess even kind of an adventure game of sorts. You know, those old school LucasArts adventure games where you have to solve puzzles and things. It's kind of a little bit like that. So maybe a cross between those kind of games, a little bit like Telltale's games. So that kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what type of gameplay is in store for you. It's not hard. It's pretty straightforward. And if you know the puzzles and stuff like that, it's not difficult either. The game's only going to really take you about an hour and a half to play through as well, but to platinum it, it's going to take you about 9 hours. Now, the reason behind that is because you need to play through the game 6 times to unlock 6 different endings in the game. So we'll get to that in a second though. There's no online trophies, and there are technically a lot of missable trophies because each of the 6 playthroughs that you'll do have different branching narrative paths and different endings. Technically all of those trophies for the other 5 playthroughs that you're not doing at that one time are missable. So I've said all of them kind of are, but it's kind of a moot point, if that makes sense. Yeah, you are going to have to play through the game 6 times to unlock the trophies along the different branching narrative paths, as well as the 6 different ending trophies. So that's something to keep in mind. There's not really a chapter select, but it's not really required either. And there are 2 stacks for this one, which is very strange for a first-party Sony game, but there's one for EU and one for US if you're planning on going and doing multiple stacks. So let's have a spoiler-free look at the steps to platinum. Now, I've done this the same way I do all my guides, as 3 very simple, straightforward steps. Now, the first is to play through the game once, making your own choices, unlocking whichever trophies come naturally, all the way through to the ending of that playthrough. I've suggested this because the game is actually pretty good, and it would be a shame just to play through it with a guide on your first playthrough. I think it's worth checking out yourself. Obviously, you don't have to do this. You can just use a guide if you want to, but playing through it, you're going to earn trophies, and you're going to go down one of those branching paths and get an ending anyway. There'll be a trophy associated with it, so that's my suggestion. Do that at least once, and then you kind of experience the journey the way it was intended, which is just, you know, cold, essentially. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. Once you've done that, you do have to do 5 more playthroughs to unlock the 5 alternate paths and 5 alternate endings. What I would suggest doing here is this is when you pull out a guide and you follow the steps in the guide to get those other 5 endings. Now, the requirements are specific because depending on decisions you make at different points in the game, it will pivot the entirety of the game down a different path. So follow a walkthrough of the game at this point all the way through to the end of each of those 5 different missions, or not missions, narratives, I guess. Narrative arcs? I don't really know what you call it. Endings, I suppose. And you'll unlock all the trophies associated with those different things, which is straightforward. It's not hard. It's just going to take you a decent amount of time because you have to play through it quite a lot. So that's worth pointing out. And then the final step is just cleaning up any remaining miscellaneous trophies that have come along the way. There shouldn't be any though, because you're playing through the game so many times, and you'll have opportunities to knock off the majority of the trophies as you go through it multiple times. There shouldn't be anything left after this point, but if there is, there's a step there for you to go and clean that up as well. But that's your steps to platinum. It's not hard. The steps are really straightforward, but I would really encourage everyone to go and play the game naturally first. And like I said, it still counts as one of your endings, so I think it's worth doing. Now, the final thing we like to look at on this channel is the notable trophies. I've pulled the 2 most difficult trophies out of the guide. The first one is called Thank You, and that's for seeing all major endings. So that's for finishing the game all 6 times with those different endings. Nothing more to say really on that. I don't want to talk about spoilers, so there's nothing else to say. You've just got to play through the game 6 times to do that. The reason this is rare is because a lot of people would have just played the game once and not gone back and finished those other playthroughs. Now the next trophy is called Paperwork, and this is for finding all hidden documents and finishing the game. This is a collectible based trophy, but there are guides where it will walk you through collecting these as you go through the game. After you've played through the game 6 times, you should have this anyway, because you should have seen and done everything in the game. And I'd imagine this would probably unlock naturally just doing that, but if not, you can use a guide to go back and get all those collectibles as well. So that's really that. Everything else in the game, there's no other trophies that are worth mentioning. The rest of them are probably more spoilery and not going to help you out by mentioning them here. So that's your Platinum Roadmap for Erika. I know it's pretty short, there's not much to it, but hopefully it was helpful for you guys. If it was, let me know in the comment section below. Are you guys going to be checking this one out? Have you maybe already played it? Do you have any additional tips that you want to share with the rest of the community? Leave them down below. It helps people out. People do it all the time, and it's really, really useful. Like I said at the top, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, because it helps the channel out so much if you do. It really does make the YouTube algorithm like me a lot more. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video. Bye for now.